SJB's plot to oust Diana. Malli to contest from SLPP if there's no Aiya. Jayadasa, the patriotic candidate. SJB MPs plan to join government monks to launch New People's Movement.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
SJB's plot to oust Diana. Today, the Supreme Court ruled that State Minister Diana Gamagi is not legally qualified to hold a parliamentary seat. With agreement from Judges Gamini Amarasekara and Kumuduni Wickramasinghe, Judge Janak De Silva delivered the verdict. He said Gamagi was found to have used a British passport to arrive in Sri Lanka. Further, she failed to prove her Sri Lankan citizenship to the court, said the judge. Therefore, it is against Clause 89 of the Constitution that a non-Sri Lankan citizen sits in Parliament, and a quo warranto order was issued against her. So the talk of the day is Diana's loss of the MP seat. Now it's about things unknown to the public in this case. Oshala Herath was the petitioner against Diana. He contested the last general election from the UNP. His case had been getting thrown out in lower courts when the SJB intervened and took it up with the Supreme Court. Diana had already gone to court against the SJB over its ownership. Deciding to teach her a lesson, Sajith entrusted a committee led by his senior advisor, Lakshman Fonseca, with the task of backing Oshala in his case. Also in the committee were his campaign manager, Sujiva Senasinghe, and ex-MP Mujibur Rahman. They studied the case and assigned the task to SJB's legal secretary, Farhan Kasim. Things progressed smoothly since. Previously, a similar ruling was given against State Minister Geetha Kumarasinghe. It was said Piyasena Gamage from the same party backed it, but Geetha went on to obtain Sri Lankan citizenship and got elected to Parliament again. Diana now has the same challenge to face. Lucky inquired from Sajith as to who should be named for Diana's seat. He replied that although both Senasinghe and Mujibur worked hard in the case, the seat should go to the latter, who resigned at his request. Mujibur had been complaining over the loss of his seat. Now both Sajith and Mujibur are happy, but Diana is no pushover. She got cannabis legalised as an export crop and spoke in support of a night economy. She was a hit among the youth. Sajith and his men will have to keep a tab on what Diana's retaliation would be. Malli to contest from SLPP if there's no Aiya. The SLPP is in a big fix to support or not to support Ranil, whom they themselves appointed the president, to continue for 5 more years. Its MPs held crisis talks with party founder Basil at the chair at their Nelam Mawatha office on Tuesday. Later, Mahinda told the media that they need not go along with Ranil, should think on their own and make a decision. Some SLPP MPs got confused by this unexpected remark by their leader. But Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, who backs Ranil, said decisions taken by their leader never went wrong. This time too he will take a good decision, said Prasanna. Also, there's no hurry to announce the candidate. We fielded Gotabaya with just 45 days to go for the election. So we have the time, he went on. Prasanna replied in the affirmative when asked if they will go forward with Ranil, but was quite diplomatic when he said, "But we cannot comment about tomorrow. We are not in a hurry." But it is said the Rajapaksas have already decided that billionaire entrepreneur Dhammika Pereira would be their candidate. He agreed conditionally that he will contest only if Ranil doesn't. Noting that Sajith is presently in the lead, Dhammika told his key business associates that he would lose if there is a breakup of the government, even if he has the support of his business network. By now, he deals closely with both Ranil and Basil. The former has been invited to be the chief guest at his DP education event, Global Gestures for Global Respect Initiative, the GG movement, at Nelam Pakuna on the 10th. So, looks like he wants to be with Ranil all along. But Namal insists they should field a candidate of their own. If Dhammika Aiya reverses his decision at the last moment, I will contest from the SLPP, he told his followers. But others in the party are in disagreement with Namal's hurry. Even critics say he is unaware that haste makes waste. The party could see further divisions too. Others say Nimal will act big, but take a step back and allow the party to support Ranil in the end. Wijayadasa, the patriotic candidate. The crisis in the SLFP continues with another court ruling made on Tuesday. The appeal court dismissed Wijayadasa's petition against the injunction that prevents him from acting as the party chairman. It looks like that Nimal Siripala's appointment as the acting chairman is valid. Meanwhile, CBK went to the TB Jayamawatha headquarters after 5 years. Hearing about her arrival on May 6th, members of the Nimal Siripala faction, including Amarawira, Alagiawane and Duminda, were there. They looked to have gained control of the party headquarters. In the meantime, Wijayadasa seems to have reversed his decision to contest as the SLFP candidate. When inquired by the Leader TV if Ranil asked him to leave the government, Wijayadasa said he met the president at the cabinet and at a special meeting on new acts. "But he never inquired from me about it," he said. "The other thing is we have our own opinion. I will not give in to anyone's pressure," said Wijayadasa. He insisted that he would contest despite any criticism. Wijayadasa is likely to claim himself to be that patriotic candidate once the Election Commission announces the election. SJB MPs plan to join government. Ranil chaired the UNP Management Committee meeting at the Presidential Secretariat on Tuesday afternoon. He started proceedings by thanking all for making the May Day rally a success. Then, Sagala Ratnayaka tabled an intelligence report on crowd attendance. Some faces turned bitter as it was being read out. Some who promised to bring thousands had managed less than 1,000 from their districts. Ranil became worried and said most are loudmouths only. He fixed a separate meeting on the following day to discuss it further. Explaining his plans, Ranil said a UK company has been given his election campaign. According to their research, the main factor in this election will be the candidate who will be able to face the economic crisis in the future, he said. "On Thursday, I will speak in Parliament about the Economic Transformation Act. A week or two later, a report will be tabled," he said. Ranil went on. "With the dialogue on this Economic Transformation Act, the SJB MPs will make their move. When Sajith opposes these proposals, our men in the SJB will get out," he explained. According to his explanation, the main theme of his campaign will be how he revived the economy, and that only he has an economic plan for the future. The UK company has proposed and even made a plan to showcase the victory with the certification that the country is free of bankruptcy and successful in restructuring foreign debt. That will be a key trump card to be used. If things get delayed, Ranil has a plan B too. The idea is to have separate programs with Paris Club and China for foreign debt restructuring. But government politicians are worried that all will end if a thing or two go wrong, like the on-arrival visa fiasco. Monks to launch New People's Movement. Monks at a certain Colombo temple are preparing to debut a New People's Movement. Several countries have given them aid to create an all-embracing Buddhist force. The monks' aim is to field a presidential candidate. It is still vague as to who is behind them. Anyway, they will be opposed to the government. Several controversial political characters, too, will be in the fray. The above was carried in last Sunday's Deshaya newspaper. By the way, Rathana Thera is back to his old tricks. He has proposed to several party leaders that they should field a patriotic candidate. Who could that be? Dilith, Wijayadasa, or someone else? That will make things complete. Only a patriotic one was missing from among a host of would-be candidates. However, these patriotic forces were nowhere to be seen when the economic crisis was at its worst and people were dying in queues. When things do improve, they are back from nowhere. People will have to be very cautious about them. That's it for today.